With the stalemate in Russia and Ukraine, the current economic situation in Russia is not going well, which is also directly reflected in their car sales. According to data, in July 2022, sales of passenger cars and light commercial vehicles in Russia fell by an astonishing 74.9% year-on-year, a decrease of 94,819 compared with July last year. From January to July this year, Russian car sales were only 368,900, a year-on-year decrease of 69.5%. However, in the context of the overall decline in sales, there is a force that is growing inconceivably. Chinese car sales in Russia grew strongly in July, accounting for a 24.3% share. In fact, in recent months, Chinese automakers have begun to aggressively seize the Russian market. In April, the proportion of Chinese cars was only 12.6%, rose to 16.9% in May, and reached 21% in June. So, why only Chinese car sales in Russia have increased? Which Chinese car brand does Russia like the most? At this time, sales in Russia have increased significantly. Is it a good thing for Chinese cars? Hi, everyone. Welcome to Auto Age. Now you are on the journey to look back at every change in the car, witness every surge in speed, and explore the mystery behind the car. Before we started today's video, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Okay, let's get started. First of all, why only Chinese car sales in Russia have increased? In fact, since the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine war, monthly car sales in Russia have been falling sharply, and car sales in some months have even hit the lowest level since 1991. And many car companies, including Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Toyota, Nissan, etc., have suspended production in Russia, and some car companies have stopped exporting cars to Russia. In my opinion, the export restrictions and withdrawals are the key reasons for the sharp decline in Russian car sales. Although a significant drop in Russian car sales occurred, the top three brands were relatively stable in July, with veteran Russian manufacturer Lada remaining the top-selling brand with 10,400 units sold in July, followed by Korean brands, with Kia and Hyundai selling 4,004 and 3,397 units respectively. Previously, the largest car brand in the Russian market was French automaker Renault, but since it has withdrawn from the Russian market, it has gradually lost its market share in the Russian market. Renault ranked 7th with 1,780 sales in July. In March of this year, Group Renault made a public statement saying it would suspend production at its Moscow plant in response to Western support for sanctions against Russia. On May 16, the Renault Group announced the sale of all its assets in Russia, the sale of 100% of its shares in Renault Russia to the Moscow municipal government, and the sale of its shares in Volga, AvtoVAZ, to the Russian National Institute of Automotive Engineering. At present, Renault officials have started the process and are evaluating the company's assets and shares. This also shows that Renault will withdraw from the Russian market. Data show that in the first half of this year, Renault's cumulative sales in Russia were 28,246 units, down 59.7% year-on-year. Since the development of the Russian auto industry was slow after the disintegration of the former Soviet Union, the domestic auto demand in Russia was mainly solved by imports or joint ventures and localized production. But as we have mentioned before, many car companies such as the United States have begun to restrict or even stop their sales. Under such circumstances, Chinese brands seem to have become the only choice for Russia. According to the latest data, Chinese brands sold a total of 8,600 new cars in Russia in July this year, and their market share has reached 24%, overtaking the Korean brand for the first time to occupy the second place in the Russian new car sales market. For reference, South Korean brands accounted for 21.2% of sales in July, and the top Russian auto brand accounted for 30.9%. With the withdrawal of Renault, Chinese cars are expected to seize a larger market in Russia in the future. In fact, since April, the share of Chinese brand cars in the Russian market has grown significantly. The market share of Chinese brands in the first quarter of this year, January-March, has been maintained at around 9.5%, and the second quarter began to increase significantly, including 12.6% in April, 16.9% in May, 21% in June, and 24.3% in July. So, in Russia, what Chinese cars sell best? In fact, most of the sales of Chinese brand cars in Russia in July came from Chery, Geely, Haval and Exceed. July sales were 2,577, 2,323, 2,155 and 1,012 respectively, of which Chery and Geely ranked in the top 5, Haval ranked 6th, and the sales of other brands were less than 200. According to the sales volume announced in July, it means that for every 4 new cars sold in Russia, 1 is from a Chinese brand. In addition, Romir, the Russian Social Opinion and Market Research Center, recently released the results of a survey on Chinese auto brands and their satisfaction with their operations in Russia. The 5 most well-known Chinese auto brands include Chery, 30%, and Lifan, 21%, Geely, 18%, Haval, 10%, and Great Wall, 8%. The results of the study show that 83% of Chinese brand car owners are relatively or completely satisfied with their cars. Ludmila Fukova, the key account manager of the center, said, "Chinese car brands are gradually gaining a foothold in the Russian market and gradually gaining the trust of buyers." The research results show that among Chinese brand car owners, there is no dissatisfaction with the operation. This suggests that one of the factors for the increased market share of Chinese cars may be the increased customer trust and satisfaction with the cars. So, is the huge increase in sales in Russia at this time a good thing for Chinese cars? In my opinion, due to Russia being sanctioned by European and American countries, some car companies operating in Russia were forced to close their production lines in Russia, which further exacerbated the shortage of cars in the Russian market. As a rigid demand for cars, the growth of Chinese car sales in Russia will continue for a long time. In addition, the total production capacity of Russian auto factories exceeds 2 million vehicles. This year, it was originally planned to produce about 1.5 million vehicles. However, due to the shortage of parts and sanctions from Europe and the United States, it is expected that Russia will lose 760,000 to 815,000 vehicles this year, and the loss is irretrievable. At present, the downturn in the Russian auto market will continue for a long time, and there is even a tendency to continue to deteriorate. From this perspective, the penetration of Chinese brands into Russia will not bring real economic benefits, but entering Russia can bring more valuable overseas operation experience to Chinese companies. Compared with the unattainable Western European countries, Russia has given Chinese companies an excellent opportunity to practice. The Russian auto crisis also reminds all countries that only by working hard to develop their own auto industry can they avoid being sanctioned in the complex and changeable international environment. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below, and share your insightful ideas with other people. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like our videos. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. See you.